March is the snowiest month in Colorado, so I decided to head down to Arizona, a little road trip. So yesterday, which was the last day of February, I drove down south, and here I am in the Santa Fe National Forest. It's a lovely day again. It wasn't that cold last night. It went down to 3 degrees C in the van. So what's that, 36 or 8 or something, I don't know, 30s. And it's already getting warmer. And I made hot water last night, put it in a flask, cup of tea straight away in the morning. It's a great idea. I've got to do that all the time now. And I was going to walk up Starvation Mountain, which is where the Indians trapped some Spaniards and starved them to death. That's where the story goes. But I don't really feel like doing that. Or maybe I will. But I'm going to go for a walk anyway. I think I'm just going to go for a walk through the woods here, and then drive off and go further south, further west into Arizona. So we'll see how that goes. Here's where we are, Santa Fe National Forest. We're actually east of the town of Santa Fe. And go for a walk over that way. So this is the trail into Cerritos Tanks, which I thought of doing, but I'm glad I didn't, because it's got some pretty deep ruts in places. It's very much a jeep trail, I think. So I'm glad I parked out by the road. Anyway, we'll see what it's like when I get there. So here it is. This is Cerritos Tank, a watering hole for the cows. Yeah, the road in was pretty rutted in places. I'm glad I didn't even attempt it. And it's not that wonderful place anyway. So where I am, where parked, is just as good, I think. And it gave me a good walk here. And I shall walk back now and then go further on. I'm making a veggie curry. Basically a whole lot of veggies and some curry paste. Bring it up to steam and then just let it sit there for a while, 15 minutes or so maybe. And it's done. I brought pre-cooked brown rice from home. I cooked the rice there. So it should make a couple of meals, I think. I'll store some of it in the fridge, eat some tonight. Here's the finished product. It didn't disintegrate as much as it does when I do it at home, but it's pretty good. And I have 2 pots left over for a rainy day, and it's supposed to rain this weekend, so I might well be eating 1 or 2 of these. Just have to heat them up. Okay, leaving Skeen, got it right, yeah, Skeen Campground, which is a brilliant campground. My neighbours are from Colorado too. Don't think I left anything. Yesterday was a horrendous day. It ruined the contacts on my phone. I put it in the wrong way around, probably. Well, I missed it. And so I had to go to Albuquerque and back to get a new phone. Today should be better. So yeah, this campground's free, it's BLM, but it's got tables and garbage, trash disposal and vault toilets. It's a good place. I'm going to go south a couple of miles. There's a trail down there. There's also supposed to be an arch. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find the arch, but I should be able to find the trailhead. Okay, turning on to 117. The trailhead should be just down here. Acoma-Zuni Trailhead. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, really nice rocks here. So we've come to the lava. Interesting walking. We're following cairns. Looks like it's up here. Okay, there's a cairn over there. Just following the cairns over this lava field. Moving across into Arizona, I went into the Petrified Forest National Park. One of the things that's worth seeing are the petroglyphs on newspaper rock. The parking lot overlooks these rocks and they do provide a telescope, but if you've got a long lens you can take pictures like these. It's a very windy day. There's a cold front moving down from the north. So I almost got blown away walking around these petrified trees. There is a paved trail, so you could actually go around these in a wheelchair if it wasn't too windy. And it's definitely worth seeing them. There's lots of them. A couple of days later I got to the Tonto National Forest and visited the Tonto National Monument, where there are these great cacti and good views of the lake. Worth visiting. The ruins themselves are not that great, but views are spectacular. A couple walking up here are from Quebec, so I got to practice my French. Apparently there's a good hockey player from Colorado. I didn't know that. I camped down by the lake, Roosevelt Lake. This turned out to be my favourite place on the whole trip, although in the summer it must get really crowded. There's huge parking lots which in March were pretty much empty. Sorry about the generator noise. I'm frying up some potatoes. I've got broccoli and cauliflower in the pressure cooker and I'll be adding an egg. The potatoes are coming on now. Nice and brown on one side. Here's the finished product. This osprey wouldn't let me get anywhere near him when he was perched, and then he took off and flew right over my head. So I got these shots of him in flight. The roadrunner ran across a boat ramp right in front of me and then walked up these rocks on the side of the ramp, so I've managed to get a few photographs of him. So I'm in the Windy Hill Campground on Roosevelt Lake at the moment. It's pretty warm. 26 degrees in the van I can see. It's probably about 17 or 18 centigrade outside. And the weather's supposed to be good for the next few days. Next, it's Sunday, it's supposed to be quite warm, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to go north, and then I have to make the big decision. Do I go east, back towards New Mexico and Colorado, or can I continue further northwest towards Sedona and the Grand Canyon, which I'd like to do, and then go back east later on? The problem being, of course, that cold air is constantly coming down from Canada, and if I get hit by a snowstorm I'm just going to have to sit it out. But that's not a big problem, but I have to make a decision, and hopefully I can go up towards Sedona at least, maybe to the Grand Canyon. We'll see. It's fun trying to avoid the snow. So I'm leaving the campground. This is Roosevelt Lake, which is absolutely beautiful, and reminds me of the English Lake District. Did this so especially when I arrived, when there are cloud shadows on the hills. Now it's clear blue skies, and it has hot showers. I spent 2 nights here. It's great. You can walk alongside the lake. Saw road runners, saw ospreys, and actually a bunch of birds I didn't recognise. I'm going to have to look up in my bird book. Yeah, great place. I made it to the Sedona area. This is Forestry Road 525, which is where everybody camps. And there's loads of places, but almost everyone was full, or sometimes with multiple vans. And this is a weekday in March. And this road culminates in a jeep trail, And I wish I'd walked up that jeep trail and continued to explore this area, but since I'd damaged my phone, I'd lost my maps for the area, my digital maps. And so I decided that I would go into the town of Sedona and get a hiking map. I was kind of put off by all the off-road vehicles in this area, but it was a mistake, I think, to go around to the town. It would have been better to explore over here where there are actually fewer people, even though there are lots of off-road vehicles. Driving into Sedona. People very friendly. I got a map and everybody was very nice. But the thing that you notice about Sedona is that it's very, very popular. It's not just the traffic. I went up to multiple trailheads and they were all overflowing. Sometimes there were cars parked for half a mile down the road from a trailhead, and this is, as I said before, a weekday in March. This is the Fay Canyon Trail. I've somehow managed to get some video without people in it, because there were people walking the same way as me and the opposite way, and there's almost always somebody in earshot. I would have enjoyed it a lot more, I think, if I'd done it very early in the morning when there was no one around. Kind of spoilt the experience that there were so many people. It is a beautiful place, but I definitely would have liked to have been on my own. After doing the Fay Canyon Trail, I decided to head east, and in the National Forest it was impossible to camp because there was either snow or mud, and quite often they closed off the forestry roads. So I just kept going east, back to Joe's Skeen in fact, and then back to Colorado. And I didn't hit snow until Colorado, so in that regard everything worked out really well. It was a good trip. I'm glad I went.